We not? We never know. I think we are live now. Let's just go for it. Welcome to Direct Mail Monday, June 6th, 2022. Steve Sipress here. And I decided today to dive deep into my pile of possible direct mail pieces that have arrived in my mailbox recently, some not so recently. And I looked at them and said, this would be a good one to share. And this was way down on the pile. I picked it up and I said, like, yeah, first thing I got to figure out, why did I pick this out of all the pieces of mail as a good example? And I have a feeling it's got a multiple offers here, which is the middle letter of the WOW strategy or irresistible offer. And a couple might be irresistible. It only takes one to be irresistible to make the sale. However, I then decided to check out, I forget what prompted me to check out to see how well this did. And I got an extremely interesting response. So first, let's share the postcard with the three examples, three different ways to announce a deadline, as I shared in the title of this video. So this is a postcard. Now, first of all, good job. It's full color, oversized postcard, so this will stick out. Now, I say that, of course, it's almost silly these days. In the year 2022, almost any piece of mail you send to anybody is going to stick out because 99% of business owners are too stupid to use direct mail. And so there is basically no mail hitting anyone's mailbox. In fact, even family members say happy birthday on Facebook and they don't even send a birthday card anymore. Like, it's just easier than it ever was by far to make money with direct mail for that number one reason, that you don't have to work 100th as hard as we used to have to work to get someone's attention and not get the mail thrown out as junk mail. Now it's like, hey, mail, let's take a look at what this thing is. And so this thing comes full color, double sided, oversized, and check it out. It's the old, have you ever driven down the road and you've seen someone holding the sign, or you see the big sign, store closing, everything must go? And often these are furniture stores that do that. And so that's why I made the call to check it out, to see if this was, in fact, one of the perennial, just using that as a tactic. The store never closes, but they use that as a tactic. I learned that years and years ago when I had one of these furniture stores near where I was working, and I would pass by it every single day for months and months and months. They always had the store closing sale. And I was like, you know what? Clearly, this is simply a gimmick, a tactic, whatever you want to call it, to get people to come in the store. This store is not closed, might never close, but the old store closing. So that's why I made the phone call to see if this one was that perennial tactic being used. And wait till I share some facts with you. But first, here are the three different ways that they used to share the deadline. First, final days! Exclamation point, the large font, second largest font type size on the entire postcard after the word sale, which is a fantastic word to use in your marketing if, in fact, you're running a sale. Final days! Exclamation point at the top. Next way is the date. Sale ends Sunday, December 19th at 5 p.m. So you can see when I received this. It had to be back last year, sometime in December. So it's over 6 months ago. And then final way is down here. Last chance. There it is. Last chance. So you could say last chance. You could say final days. You could give them the day and exact day and time that the sale ends. All three are ways of conveying the same message. Hurry up. Urgency. Deadline. Right? You want to use urgency in your marketing here. They're using it in three different ways. You want to use urgency. You want to use scarcity, which is suggested by the store closing, that there's scarcity. Even though they didn't say it on here, unless I look, I don't think they said it on here. Unless I look carefully, did they say, some one of a kind, or there are some store, what do they call them, floor samples, or one of a kind, like that is scarcity. You don't come and grab it, It's not like we have more in stock or there's not more in the back. There's not a whole warehouse full of them. There might be just one of this sofa or this bed or this bedroom set or whatever it is. It gets worse. Wait till I tell you about the phone call. So on the other side, they have closing our Tempe location only. Tempe is a city just outside of here in Phoenix, Arizona area. It's where the right near where the airport is actually. So if you've ever flown into Phoenix, you've been right there near Tempe. That's where a lot of the tech is, by the way. Closing the Tempe location sale, and there's the deadline again. Sale ends Sunday, December 19th at 5 p.m. Selling out entire stock and final days, store closing. And when was the last one? Last chance. I don't know if it has last chance on this side. Does not. So they use 2 out of 3 on this side. They add in the third one, last chance over here. Okay, so I call the phone number on here. There's the phone number at the return address to see. Uh, let's see, why did I call to see? Did the store actually close? Yeah, that's it. Right. I said that already. Senior moment. I already forgot what I said earlier. That's why I called to see, is this one of those gimmicks, perennial, the store's always closing, but it never does. And sure enough, somebody answers. However, they answer and they don't say Thomasville and more. They say Woodbridge or Wood, I think it was Woodbridge. The woman answers, Woodbridge Furniture or something. And I'm like, oh no. I think she answered Woodbridge Furniture, formerly Thomasville. And I'm like, oh, so the store, it's no longer Thomasville, store closed. And she was like, yeah, actually, that location is still, we have 4 locations in the area. So I moved the staff, I'm the manager, and I moved the staff up here to the Fashion Square Mall in Scottsdale. It's pretty much an old town, downtown center of Scottsdale. So it's an upscale location. Um, but that location is still open, she told me. This is 10 minutes ago, because they are liquidating. Now I didn't let on that, like, I'm holding in my hand a postcard that says final days back in December. And it actually says sale ends Sunday, December 19th at 5 p.m. Last I checked, this is June 6th at 4 p.m. So it is more than 6, what is it? January, February, March, April, May, June. It's 5.5 months later. So the store did not close. The sale did not end on Sunday, December 19th at 5 p.m. Still selling stuff. Although she gave the old scarcity, saying, yeah, but we don't know how long that's going to go on. Could end any day. So what I suggest, she was telling me, is I suggest you go there because there's some one-off items, and then come up here where we have a full selection and all the samples, and we can order and we can sit down and plan out things with you. But and I'm like, I forget what I said. Like I asked, some dumb question like, what do you mean they have a? It sounds like I shouldn't even go there. There's like nothing there. She goes, well, I mean, there's great deals. It's just that they might have one night table and not even the second one, and not the bed, and not the dresser, and not the whole set. I'm like, okay. But the original reason I say this was, look at these offers: 70% off, an extra 30% off, an extra 30% off of this thing, store wide. This one was 30% off lamps and something else, wall art, accessories. This is 70% off their Oriental rugs. This one is an extra 30% off. Love say what? Their low sale price on selected Blue Dot furniture. So 30% off Blue Dot, 30% off lamps, wall art, and accessories, an extra 10% off remaining furniture store wide, and 70% off. Or so at least you're going to save 10%. 30% depending on what you buy, up to 70%. I have a feeling now, after this has been going on for who knows how long, at least 6 months, that there might be, up to 90% savings, like just clear it out. But I was really, that's another question I wanted to ask is like, wouldn't you just move the furniture up there? Like, but I guess it's expensive to move big pieces of furniture. She's like, yeah, no, we're just clearing it out there. But get there quick. I'm like, get there quick. Like, got this postcard 5.5 months ago. So That's the lesson learned here, that there are several ways to announce a deadline. Final days, the exact day, date, and time, and the words last chance. And there's many other ways, but this is three examples. However, did this work? I don't know. They're still paying, maybe the lease still had months to go on it, so they were paying the rent anyway, I'm assuming. Otherwise, they might have, on December 19th, actually ended the thing if the lease was ending at the end of the year and said, like, that's it, let's move the rest. They have four other locations after all. Move a quarter of it each to each of the other four locations and put a little section in the back saying this is the closeout section in the back, and save all that money on a big furniture location. It's a lot of square footage. Tempe, that could be pretty expensive. Um, so that's the lesson today from Direct Mail Monday, is several ways to state a deadline. The other thing is, this is apparently, it's been at least 5.5 months, probably at least another few weeks or a month or so, that they are in fact using the old tactic. The store closing doesn't really close, even when they announce the exact date. So there's another tactic you could use. It's overcome if people feel they're duped and lied to. It's overcome by, yeah, sure, but we planned to close it at that date, but we didn't get rid of everything, and so why not still pass on the savings to you? So it is a benefit to you that we extended the deadline and we didn't hold to it, and blah 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 blah. Right? So another thing she really confused me, which I think is fairly easy to do, with the whole thing about they changed their name. Oh yeah, Thomasville, she said, went bankrupt. They stopped making furniture 3 years ago. They went bankrupt, so we're not using the word Thomasville anymore. Oh yeah, this is another public service message for you. Is Thomasville? She said, besides, we have all kinds of different brands, which they did mention down here in the yellow. That we have Thomasville, we have Lexington, Century, Stickley, Natuzzi, and many more. And they mention that on this side as well. Stickley, Lexington, American Leather, Century, Natuzzi, and other famous brands. And she said Thomasville name was sold. And if you go get Thomasville furniture at the Costco, it's not Thomasville. It's a cheap knockoff. And they're just using the Thomasville name. That reminds me of one of my favorite entrepreneurs and door-to-door salespeople I ever met back when I was doing door-to-door sales way back in the 90s. His name when I met him was Uncle Nonami, because when he had gone through financial troubles and bankruptcy, I believe, he had to sell his name, Famous Amos. And he was in Costco walking around from his little, he wasn't standing behind the thing with a hairnet like the ladies do. If you've been to the Costco, he was walking around offering people a you know, fresh homemade chocolate chip cookie. Check it out, just like he did to start off going door to door down the street in LA where he started his Famous Amos cookies. And so, same thing I was thinking was there was a company that bought the Famous Amos brand, and he told me, he's like, oh yeah, Famous Amos cookies still exist, but that's not my recipe. And they're low quality. They don't use the great ingredients like I did. They're just using my name. So do not buy Famous Amos cookies. They are not the great cookies that I made. And in the same way, this store manager told me, do not buy Thomasville furniture when you see it in the Costco. They're just using the name, but they're using cheap materials and cheap workmanship, and it's no longer the great name Thomasville. So there's a little service message for you if you're shopping for furniture and you see an amazing price in Costco or wherever else on the Thomasville name. Be forewarned. That is not the old Thomasville quality. You are just paying for the Thomasville name slapped onto a low quality brand. Now, if you're happy with that, you want low quality, then obviously ignore this message. So there it is. Scarcity, urgency, deadline, irresistible offer, and a public service announcement about Thomasville furniture in particular. And little update on the old furniture store final days closing tactic, still alive and well. This has been going on for probably 6 months or more. And, she was giving me the old urgency. Hey, it could end any time. You know what? I think I might save this one and call back in another month or so and see that, yep, they're still, first of all, for those that have not been here or don't know, this Phoenix Scottsdale area, we are just about into technically, officially, the summertime. Temps will be above 100 degrees every day. They'll get up to 110, 115, near 120. There is, especially in Scottsdale, people have fled for northern, cooler climates, going back to visit people up north, or even just going into the mountains a couple hours or 3 hours away up north. And I have a feeling if they haven't sold out by now, there's not going to be a lot of furniture selling over the summer, and this might just stretch into our summer. Our hundreds and 110s goes into September, so this might just stretch another 3, 4, 4 months, making it almost a year of final days ending soon, any day now, last chance, urgency. Hopefully, you're using it in your advertising, your marketing, and your sales efforts. If you're not, you ought to lose sleep over it. You ought to get with me or somebody else who knows what they're doing in every waking minute, other than obviously you have other things to do, eat and sleep and whatever, but you should be thinking, how can I inject more urgency and more scarcity into my advertising, marketing, and sales? Because it works. That's it for Direct Mail Monday. Thanks for being here today. I will catch you back here again tomorrow. On Topical Tuesday, I will see you then over